Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over to the New York Post, and I will list the article writer and all of the details in the description, as I always do. This is in the crime section. It says, old man who was falsely claimed he shot Charlie Kirk is known as a gaffi who told cops he did it to draw attention away from the real shooter, per the reports. If you hear like stuff in the background, that's just the landscaper. So yeah, work with me. All right. The known political agitator who falsely confessed to shooting Charlie Kirk while in the audience at the Conservative Stars event told investigators that he was trying to draw attention away from the real shooter, according to a report. Court records reveal that George Zinn, age 71, a known Gaffi, who was led away from Utah Valley University in handcuffs after the assassination last Wednesday, told cops he was trying to distract from the real assassin, local station Fox 13 reported. Zinn approached the cops immediately after Kirk was shot and yelled, "I shot him. Now shoot me," the report stated, citing police who noted that he was unarmed and taken into custody. It says, during a police interview, Zinn admitted he did not unalive Kirk, but confessed to cops he wanted to cause a distraction to draw attention away from the real shooter, according to court documents reviewed by Fox 13. The, ex- the FBI Director Cash Patel reveals details about alleged Kirk assassination texts. The Flux shooter made similar strange and opaque comments after being transported to a local hospital due to a medical condition, saying he wanted to be a martyr for the person who was shot, those court papers stated, according to the outlet. Police said his initial comments delayed the investigation into Kirk's killing and needlessly took up law enforcement resources at a critical juncture in the probe. He is charged with obstruction of justice, which is a second-degree felony. Video from the chaotic aftermath of the assassination at Utah Valley University shows Zinn with his pants around his ankles being dragged away by police as a crowd of college students looked on in horror as he wailed, "Shoot me." He said he shot him, but I don't know, one officer told the crowd, which was under the impression that Zinn was the shooter and yelled and swore at him as he went by. His image spread across the internet, with many believing in the immediate wake of the assassination that the elderly man with the cleft chin pulled the trigger on Kirk. Zinn is known locally as a political gadfly who frequently pops up at events and is nearly always tossed out with numerous trespassing arrests at events like festivals, protests, and political rallies. Almost every political event you can think of, there was always George somewhere in the background listening, Salt Lake County District Attorney Slim Gill told the Salt Lake Tribune. He's a person who can be odd and has those kinds of sometimes odd behavior challenges, said Gill, who has prosecuted Zinn several times, but by and large, he's more of a gaffi than anything else. In 2013, Zinn threatened to bomb the Salt Lake City Marathon and spent a year in the can for the incident, according to reports. There is no indication that he knows the apprehended suspect, Tyler Robinson, who was taken into custody last Thursday after his own father turned him in. Investigators are now looking into a possible extended network that possibly aided and abetted the college dropout who was with his male to female transgender partner. And like, I don't understand why they have to put that out like yeah, okay, report the news, but that person didn't do anything. That person didn't pull the trigger, none of that. And it just I mean man, mainstream media is you know something else. You know, try alternative media. They have a lot of platforms out there that you can get both sides of the story from the right, left, and center. And I would suggest go check some of them out, okay? But this mainstream media, so-called mainstream media, is just ridiculous. I mean, it's all about sensationalizing and a whole other couple of things that I can get into, but not in this video. But back to the man Zinn, who for what reason, and this is why I say that we need a serious tap into mental health and mental health issues. There is a epidemic, excuse me, going on right now, um, as far as mental health, and you can only push it to the side so many times before it becomes an issue, or God forbid something really tragic happens, and you know it it's just another thoughts and prayers session, another memorial session, for this man to literally get up there and said that he shot him, regardless if what his intentions was. That man could have very well lost his life that day as well if the cops didn't take the investigative stance and just was like, look, let's just take him into custody, he's not armed, he's you know and that's what real policing do. That's not the shoot him first and excuse me, pew pew him first and sort him out later. You know what I mean? It's not that. That was some real police work right there. Unlike our FBI director who has bungled this case, and they're trying to, instead of them actually doing the work and trying to get to the bottom of it and what the motive was, and things leading up to that, and check into the family background and all of that stuff. They just want to push this narrative about, leftist, transgender, which, by the way, statistically, transgender attackers are not even 1% of the population of people that have committed shootings or mass shootings. I think they're like 0.44. That's not even a whole percent. That's not even a whole 1%. So this narrative that they're going with is just, it just falls flat when you have years before this administration, decades before this administration, that actually did, their due diligence in terms of, gathering data, gathering the facts, putting it all together to make it cohesive for other people to view at their discretion. But it's just sad all the way around. That old man could have lost his life. It could have, further traumatized the people that were there and had to witness that act that took place that day, that initially started this whole thing off. Um, as per my opinion, I don't think that he did act alone. I'm still not sold, to be honest with you, on the fact that he's the shooter. namely from the videos that were released shortly after. For the in the first couple of hours of the incident actually happening. You know, when he was running across the building and he jumped down off the building and stuff like that, it don't look like that man had no gun. I'm sorry. It don't look like he had no gun. It don't look like he had no gun. I'm like, that's the part that's bothering me, because had I would have seen him, run across, you know, the building with his backpack and the gun in tow or whatever, he was trying to break it up as he was, trying to, make his escape or whatever, that would have been more plausible to me. But to see him run across that roof and him just having a backpack and a bag and drop it down the way it felt, it don't look like it was anything in the bag. I will be more curious to find out where they actually found said rifle at and where they actually found these bullets. I'm pretty sure these bullets can be traced back, if they still have the serial numbers on the casings, um, or that gun can definitely be traced. So instead of pushing the narrative about meme this, meme that, transgender this, and trying to push the narrative to further stoke this fever dream that a lot of people on the right is having about a civil war, because they want to have one, because they want to take out their aggressions on other people that apparently did not vote for the current administration, and a combination of that and in my opinion some personal things that they going through in their life. um it's not justified at all, but this is really sad. I hope this man gets the help that he needs. I hope it be a push for gun control and mental health. But let me know what you guys think. Drop down in the comment section. I would definitely love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And with that, you guys, thank you so much. I do appreciate you watching this video or any of my videos. And I'm about to head on out. But always remember, be good to yourself first.